David Grusch is going back to Congress in January. We have that and a lot more to talk about today. It's time for another UFO News Roundup, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, let's just get right to it. Check this out.
The fight for information isn't over. The U.A.P. caucus is planning to interview a UFO whistleblower in January.
All right, that's all she had to say about that, and that is Fox 32 from Chicago. But Mike Colangelo answers a question here from Michael Smith. Are they referring to the rescheduled meeting with the ICIG on January 12th to discuss Grusch's complaint? Mike says, yes, I think so, unless there are multiple meetings going on in January with David Grusch, which is totally possible. The furniture is going to start being wrecked in January, according to various whistleblowers, and I really can't wait to see that. And David Grusch, of course, is going to be a big part of that, one hopes. So are these meetings with Congress going to be part of this furniture wrecking? What will they actually tell us about these meetings? Because this is not going to be an open hearing as far as I know. But I am hopeful there will be more open hearings and with even more whistleblowers, hopefully some that were actually involved in these programs. Either way, hopefully things are going to start getting real come January. Oh, and I wanted to issue a clarification regarding the giant UFOs seen at the Arecibo Observatory. I may have given the impression it was a recent video or recent images about this giant UFO, but as viewers have pointed out, the Arecibo Observatory is no longer around. Those images were from 2017. And thank you very much for viewers, to my viewers, for you guys, for pointing out that the Arecibo Observatory is no longer around. And another viewer for pointing out that these images are from 2017. I love you guys and thank you for the clarification. Oh, and this is interesting. Check this out. Tim Clark found the original footage of this object, and this is really cool. It was originally found at the Space Watch at Kitt Peak in 2003. And this, of course, is the video from the Arecibo Observatory. Really intriguing. What does it mean that this object has been hanging around in the skies for that length of time from 2003? Does that signify more of an asteroid sort of thing? Potentially. That doesn't look like an asteroid to me. That's like a perfect, circular object. But is really interesting. Apparently, observatories that study this thing are doomed. Why is Kitt Peak still closed? And Kitt Peak is in Arizona. The road to the top of Kitt Peak remains closed to the public more than a year after a wildfire damaged parts of the highway. The Arizona Department of Transportation is still replacing the guardrails along an 8-mile stretch of Arizona 386 that was burned by the 30,000-acre Contreras fire in June of 2022. And of course, the Arecibo Observatory collapsed. These scans revealed that the cables which suspended the instrument platform above the massive dish had begun to fray from supporting the platform. This caused their zinc lining to flow until the sockets failed and the cables were pulled out of them. Man, that sucks. So, as much as I want more research done on this object, be careful of studying this thing because your satellite may collapse or there may be a wildfire. But yeah, either way, really interesting, fascinating images of this giant UFO looking thing with other UFOs that seem to be circling it or maneuvering around it. Let me know what you think about this crazy object in the comments below. Here's an interesting tweet from Ross Coulthart that begins an exchange with Chris Mellon. He says, extraordinary admission from ex-U.S. Secretary, Department of Defense, Chris Miller. You know what I should have asked for then? UAP. Nobody in the Department of Defense volunteered to give that briefing on UAPs, and I wonder why. Well, I think I know why. It's because they don't want other people to know. To which Chris replied, I have similar regrets. wishing in particular that I had taken the opportunity to conduct a deep review of OSI operations and activities. Mike Disclosure says, Chris, the CIA's Office of Scientific Intelligence, which was created in 1949 and has been directly involved in the crash retrieval reverse engineering program since its inception, has not been cooperative with anyone outside of the confines of the legacy program. Had you attempted to do a deep review at the time, I'm sure they would have lied to you about it and continued to cover this up. Your attempt would have failed simply because you were not on the bigot list and did not have a need to know. So, very interesting exchange, sparked by Ross Coulthard. Meanwhile, reporter Christopher Sharp says reliable intelligence and defense sources have told Liberation Times that some of the alleged crashed non-human craft were caused by dogfights with other unknown craft. That is juicy indeed. Now, is it dogfights with human vehicles or dogfights between UFOs? Because I've heard both stories. The WAN links to this interesting information. In 1989, in Zorostrovka, Russia, several disc-shaped objects engaged in what looked like an aerial battle or dogfight with another gold-colored disc. In 1984, in Beaverton, Oregon, an aerial dogfight between a blue UFO and a yellow UFO. Blue UFO zapped the yellow UFO fireball with a red beam, causing it to disintegrate. That is wild, and it dovetails with various other accounts that I've heard about UFOs wrangling with each other. Now, are all of those UFOs piloted by non-human intelligences? Or are some of those UFOs piloted by humans? Obviously, we don't know, but it is certainly an important question to have an answer to. The UFO control group seems to be overseeing shooting at some UFOs while they are helping, or at least working with beings, occupants presumably of other UFOs, possibly involving humanity in some sort of cosmic conflict. So what exactly is going on? Are the, as above, so below? Are the beings just as at war with each other as we are here on Earth? What exactly is going on? Is humanity caught in some sort of proxy war between different beings? This is one more reason why we need UFO disclosure, because there's some big stuff going on that we need to be privy to, and we may need to address and get fixed if indeed the UFO control group is managing this war against certain UFOs. We may be shooting at the wrong people or the wrong beings, and we may be working with the wrong beings. So yeah, we need oversight, and we probably need to fix some stuff. Meanwhile, in an article from the Daily Mail from December 16th, man spots a UFO from his balcony in Chicago resembling an alien face, and experts are baffled. I'm not going to read the full article, but that is a really intriguing looking UFO. Check that out. What in the world is going on with that UFO? Is that indeed a UFO? Is that some sort of camera glitch? That is a fantastic image, and I love it. I want to know all about it. The object's appearance was striking, with a palette of purple, gold, and green. It seemed to be changing colors, but the shape remained the same, which looks like a mask. After quickly heading indoors to examine the photos, I was unable to locate it in the sky again. Mr. Ziegler said it seemed as stationary as a star to the naked eye, although slight differences in photos he took suggested it might have been moving slightly. I was quite startled upon reviewing the photos on a larger screen. Even now, I frequently gaze at the sky, both during the day and at night, hoping to witness something as remarkable. Well, indeed. And that sure is remarkable. So what do you think, guys? Is this a legit UFO we're looking at? Is this some sort of interdimensional vehicle, perhaps? Or a UFO, a nuts and bolts UFO with cloaking technology engaged? And this is just how it appears? Was this a deliberate unveiling of a UFO to a citizen? Or is it all just a bunch of BS? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Speaking of UFO sightings and capturing UFO cameras, Chris Lato reports on some work by Courtney Brown, who may have pioneered a new technique for capturing UFOs on camera.
Do not want a controlled disclosure campaign And catastrophic disclosure could look something like this. This is Courtney Brown. He says he has a way to actually use a new Panasonic camera, the GH6, remove the IR filter, and he can see UAPs. He says he can see them all the time. So in this video, we'll cover...
That is pretty juicy. I want to know more about this technology, and I hope that others take up the challenge of using this technique to find UFOs. Last but not least, here's Danny Sheehan talking about teleportation technology. Recently, I interviewed Nico, who has some inside information about the UFO program, the UFO control group, and he says there is a teleportation device. Now, the teleportation device that Danny is talking about isn't quite as fancy, but it certainly is intriguing. So let's listen.
And they put a Coke bottle. I don't know why they picked the Coke bottle for the example, other than the fact that it's kind of archetypal, but they had a Coke bottle and they put it on the table and had him put a little tag on it, writing his signature on it. And they had him go into this other room and he waited there and he heard this kind of weird noise and this light started to appear on the table and the Coke bottle manifested in the other room, you know, with his signature and stuff on the bottle, you know. And so that they're experimenting with this kind of teleportation thing that may have something to do with the way that the UFO vehicles move from, you know, one star system to another one without having to just, you know, travel super fast, you know, so that we know they've been doing this.
So there you go. We know they've been doing this, Danny Sheehan says. And he has information that sort of corroborates Nico's information about this amazing teleportation technology. So let me know what you think about that and everything else covered today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, please consider becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Also, channel members often get to see videos hours or even a day ahead of everybody else. You can also buy a t-shirt or a coffee mug in the merch store below. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos to check out on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.